Our guest tonight is Alan Wake. This time he wanted to do something.
I was back, and I hadn't forgotten. I knew how this worked now. I could take control, no more surprises.
What demons he wrestles with in the dark hours of the night. Together with our house band, the divine old gods of Asgard, we have created something very special. The song is called Herald of Darkness, but I like to call this next segment the story of the journey of Alan Wake, the musical. We just do what we always do. We'll chat, but instead of talking, we'll sing it.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 76 of the video game podcast PlayStation Pals. I'm your host, Nick, and I'm joined by the Navi to my link, John. John.
Listen!
Hey, listen! Next week is our Game of the Year episode of the show. The year is over officially. Next podcast.
Fucking crazy.
Are you ready to announce our categories?
So ready. Can't wait. A couple new ones this year, right?
Yeah, we're moving from the 6 we had previously up to 8. So, or 9. I added a 9th one, a sneaky 9. So we have 9 categories.
What did you do?
I already told you, but...
Wait, ruin the illusion, why don't you? Fine.
So if you're listening and you want to participate, and this is how our Game of the Year works, it's a game that you completed that year for the first time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 2023 game. Right. If you, like myself, went back and played Persona 5 this year for the first time, that's an entrance.
Yep.
Like you any of that. Like John and I.
This is a product of us not being industry insiders. Sorry.
Exactly. This
Sorry.
is not our full-time job, so we're always playing catch up. We're always looking for games that we never touched on to play. So that applies to the listener as well. So if you want to participate, send in on any of our social media. Email PlayStationPalsPod@gmail.com, Twitter @PSPalsPod, or on our YouTube comment @PlayStationPals. Any of those things. If you want to participate in this, we will read your answers, just like we will read some PS Plus wrap-ups later in this episode.
Yeah,
but
I find it nice because, we've all seen, okay, it's Baldur's Gate versus Zelda versus Spider-Man versus Alan Wake. At least we'll get some different game conversations.
Oh, for sure.
It makes it,
for sure.
Makes it a little more exciting, in my opinion.
All right, so without further ado, our 9 categories are, number 1, best moment of the podcast. So if you've been listening to us all year, let us know what your favorite moment of the show was. Was it Xbox Chums? I don't think we brought the wheel back this year.
No, I think the wheel deserves to be stayed buried.
Any of our matchups in the Character Battle Royale, which will be also continuing this episode. Any of those things, whatever you thought made you laugh out loud or was just a great insight from either one of us, write in. I'd love to hear it, Or just tell us how much we suck. I don't know. That's fine, too.
That's fine, too. We like constructive criticism.
All right, and then we'll be having the same returning categories from last year. That is Best Indie, Best Weapon, Best Boss Fight, Best Performance, Best Character to Have a Drink With, and, of course, Game of the Year. So those are all returning from last year's Game of the Year.
Very nice, very nice.
And then we're bringing 2 more. Best Music. That's pretty much straightforward.
Gotta have it.
And Best Level. So if there is any particular moment or stage or whatever in a game and you want to recognize it, that's what we're going to do here, best level. So
it could be a little nebulous. I mean, there's levels. There's, famously that moment in Alan Wake 2 this year. Is that a level? Kind of. It's a sequence.
Right.
But, play with it. Have fun with it.
Yeah, it can be just a mission, like especially with an open world game if you're playing that. A mission very much can fall into that. So all those things, don't be afraid. We're not afraid of spoilers here for games. So I think we're good if whatever you think is best. So that leads us into next episode, which will be all about this. We will be doing nothing else. Plan again is to release it December 26th, but it'll be all Game of the Year conversation and then just a year in review in general. We'll take a look back at our predictions and stuff like that and go from there.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right. But this is a normal episode of the show, and how that works is John and I can both bring up to 3 things to talk about. It can be a video game we're playing. It can be a news item. It can be a topic. It can be an email to PlayStationPalsPod@gmail.com, a Twitter DM @PSPalsPod, or a comment on our YouTube page @PlayStationPals. Any of those things we feel like bringing, we can bring it on the show. And today we have 4 things for you. John's leading us off.
Sure. So, in a rare turn of events, we actually have a news story to talk about, Nick, like a pretty big one.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it's not, all bells and whistles. It's kind of a downer of a story. But first shown off at the Summer Game Fest 2022, much beleaguered multiplayer game Last of Us 2 Factions has been officially canceled. Unfortunate to say. The studio did announce this last Thursday that it has, quote-unquote, made the incredibly difficult decision to stop development on Last of Us Online. We know this news will be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us Factions community, who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studio, as we were looking forward to putting it in your hands. It was at one point supposed to be revealed public this year. I believe Neil Druckmann early this year said that we would get our first glimpse of it. So between then and now, obviously, some more developments have happened. And they have come out and kind of said that the main reason for the cancellation is just with the sheer breadth of the project, with the amount of developers that they have at Naughty Dog, and the demand for ongoing support that this game would receive. It's simply too much. It simply would require them to focus solely on this game and pretty much ignore everything that made them the studio that they are today. So one final quote here: in ramping up to full production, the massive scope of our ambition became clear. To release and support The Last of Us, we'd have to put all of our studio resources behind supporting it for years to come, severely impacting development on future single-player games. So we had 2 paths in front of us: become a solely live service game studio, or continue to focus on single-player narrative games that have defined Naughty Dog's heritage. Nick, did they make the right call?
That's hard to say without ever seeing what the product was, right?
Yep.
A lot of developers that worked on this project were on Twitter over the weekend, all saying how much they love this. They were so happy to have worked on it. It was incredible to play. And again, we got to take their word for it because we'll never see it. We'll never see what this was. So it's hard to say. I mean, John and I are, famously single player game guys. So if you were to ask us, what game should they make next, it'd be Last of Us Part 3 or any other single player narrative game, the things that they are good at.
Yeah. Because
we've seen time and time again with BioWare and Anthem, what we see in the future with Rocksteady and Suicide Squad, that you just don't have teams do games that they're not comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And that's probably what happened here, is that they didn't know how to scope it, obviously. It required a massive headcount, and they decided that wasn't going to be for them. It's for maybe something that didn't even pay off. We'll never know. So I think they probably made the right choice. They're in the best position to say whether it was right or not. And so I think, yeah.
Yeah. I was happy that they had that little blurb in there about maintaining their single-player focus. I think anybody who's been with Sony a long time like we have, they are the crown jewel for Sony, in my opinion, when it comes to narrative-driven cinematic experiences. So keep them going down that path. But yeah, apparently this thing was in production since The Last of Us 2 was in production. They initially were wanting to rope it into that project, then announced that it would be a separate thing. So it almost seems to me like this was a slip-up of upper management. This was not planning ahead properly. This wasn't realizing just how big a live service game is. So that leads me into my next question, Nick. Do you think that this will have repercussions throughout not only Sony to maybe change course on how they're pursuing these, but also maybe the industry? Do we think we've finally reached a boiling point with the amount of developers we have, resources, cost, and all that good stuff? Is this kind of a canary in the coal mine scenario?
Yeah, I think in a year in review that we'll do next episode, one thing you would say is how many layoffs there were. How many live service games died this year? There were so many. Knockout City? We did that earlier this year. Knockout City was one.
Yeah, they're forgotten about for a reason.
Right. Yeah,
Rumbleverse maybe.
Yeah, and even the Multiverses game, which is rumored to be coming back, they had to reboot it. Like, they took it offline, and it's going to supposedly come back next year. But who knows? The writing on the wall is the big dogs were going to stick around.
Yeah.
Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, they'll be around, but everyone else will be picking up crumbs, and it's like hitting the lotto for another game to strike. Just when you especially look at like what Fortnite just did, they just invested.
Yep. That's what I was just gonna say.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in 3 new modes for their game.
Good luck keeping up, man.
Yeah, good luck. And then what we said last week about the finals is, like, they have to keep up content-wise with these other games, and it's impossible at this point. Fortnite makes the money to make it sustainable, to have a big development budget and to keep having this amazing content over and over again. How do you compete? I don't think you can. And I think, like, we saw the writing on the wall that Sony's probably lessening the amount of live service games they have in the pipeline. And
I think they modified it from 12 by 2026 down to 6.
Yeah. So, and this is one of them, obviously. That I think the industry is always playing catch up, because when something hits big, everyone starts developing on it. So when Fortnite hits big, everyone starts developing it. Hyenas, Fair Games, Concord, all these games start getting made, but they're 3 to 4 to 5 years out. And so, they all start dropping. And then when that trend changes, everyone's got to pivot, but they have years of development into this game. So,
I think, you're absolutely right with the cyclical nature of the industry. And it's worked out up until this point, I think, whether it was the rise of 3D platformers, to the rise of third-person shooters or first-person shooters, or what, music games with the Guitar Hero fad. But this is a different beast in and of itself. You can't just keep chasing this live service model and expecting success. Fortnite, dude, I'm thinking about downloading it and checking it out. And, like, good luck pulling any kids away from there, which is where all this, I think, I have no proof of this, but it seems like the live service market is typically catered to, like, college level kids and younger. People who have a lot of time, and us adults don't. So good luck pulling these kids away from Fortnite when, you're getting full-fledged Lego versions of Minecraft that, for all accounts, is supposed to be great. A great kart racer in the Rocket League thing, and I believe the Harmonix game came out last week, which I do want to check out. But I don't know, man. I'm it's really sad to see any project get canceled. People to, have all these years of hard work kind of gone down the drain, so to speak. But I do think that Sony, it's obvious there's something in the air at Sony right now, whether it's the lack of communication that they're having, or just, like, high management people like Connie Booth leaving. There's something weird right now, and I feel like big time fans like us can feel it. So maybe put the pedal off of that a little bit. Go back to what maybe a new CEO, with Jim Ryan leaving, will kind of hopefully whoever comes in is going to be of that mind as well. But that's all she wrote for factions.
Right.
Do you think, last question here, Nick, do you think we ever see it again in any other form? Like, could they pack this into Last of Us 3?
Yeah, I think Last of Us 3 will have a standard multiplayer mode on it. 100%. All this work is going to go somewhere, and it would make sense to me for it to be an additional mode to whatever Last of Us Part 3, whatever that comes out, is that it'll just have this content in it, or some of that content moved into the single player.
Yeah.
So
Neil Druckmann, I know you're listening. Just release it, man. Just let us play it. It's going to be great. Not everything needs to be a forever game. Just let us play it. Factions 2013 wasn't a forever game, and people fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I just want to check it
out. It was funny because, the writing was on the wall, like when we got that rumor that Bungie looked at it and they were worried about maintaining numbers, that the scope of this was obviously gigantic. Mm-hmm. Like, it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be on a level of a Destiny 2 or, these other live service games. That
makes me sad.
Yeah. 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 I wonder how long, and I know, like, I usually don't like to touch this because we'll never know, like, what delays this puts on any other Naughty Dog project. Like,
yeah, I mean, in this post they did mention, like, hey guys, don't worry, we have 2 other single player projects going right now. One of them's a new IP, which very exciting. Like, a new Naughty Dog IP will be a moment, right? Mm-hmm. That'll be a huge thing. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of time and resources. 5-6 years towards a thing that's not going to see the light of day. It's a big sunken cost, but They'll correct it. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah, it's just another one. Like I said, when we do our year in review, how can we not touch on live service games just dying left and right?
Yep.
As they all try to chase this formula that's just not sustainable. So
Naughty Dog can't do it. I don't know who can.
Well, hopefully we'll hear soon what their next project is. It's
Please, like
after The Last of Us remaster comes out, maybe it'll be time for.
I mean, I'm calling
whatever
it
their
now.
next-
March State of Play. Or sorry, Showcase. I'm calling it right now. You heard it
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, definitely in the springtime there will be another showcase for sure.
Maybe February, but
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, that's all I got.
Okay, that's same here. So we'll move on to our next thing, and it's time for everyone's favorite game show, PS Plus Wrap Up.
Hey,
Our contestants have been playing video games all year round. They've been hitting that square, that X, that square button, and they've been racking
actually
up
a
games.
cross button, Nick.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
actually the cross button.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, just want to make sure we get that out there.
They've been doing that all year round, and Sony released their PS Plus Wrap Up, and we're gonna go through who's the winner, who's played the most, who's gotten the most trophies.
Does that mean winner if you played the most? Or
It's
the
possible,
opposite?
yeah. It's one of the categories we have that you won. So
Good.
we have 7 contestants that participated in this, including your host. So 5 outside sources, and we're gonna go through them all. So we're gonna start with everyone's top 5 games.
Okay.
I will list their top 5 games. John, with a little insider knowledge, will be able to guess a few of them like instantly.
Oh, who they are?
Yeah, who they are.
Okay.
But
All right.
but if not all of them, we know our listeners
I'll be
pretty well.
surprised if I don't get anybody. But
Yeah.
yeah. Let's fun nonetheless.
All right. And then with that knowledge, we can predict who has got the most trophies, who's got the most hours played. All right?
Sure.
All right. So our first contestant, and I'm going to go through 5 through 1. So they're top 5 most played game down to their most played game.
Okay.
All right. Number 5, Stardew Valley. Number 4, Borderlands 3. Number 3, Dismantle. Number 2, Hades. And number 1,
so good.
with 106 hours spent, Death Stranding Director's Cut.
That's our bud Jake.
Yes,
that's
that
the
is-
of the show, Jake.
Nemesis of the show.
Oh, right. Yeah, that guy sucks.
That is
But
correct.
he plays Hades, so I can't hate him too much.
So his top played game is at 106 hours.
Okay, that's okay.
As we'll see. All right, you are correct in that.
See, and you're proud of me. I didn't say a last name. You better be proud of me.
I am proud of you.
Okay, good.
All right, on to our next contestant. Their number 5 game is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Number 4, Final Fantasy 16. Number 3, Resident Evil 4. Number 2, Ghost of Tsushima. And number 1, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade.
That's my buddy Will.
Yep, there you go. At 87 hours, Final Fantasy
That threw me
7
off though, because I
Remake.
know I was like, oh, it's you. You're the only for some reason you're the only person I know I thought that played Survivor, but it's good to know. Good to know Will got his hands on it. I'll have to get his thoughts.
Yeah. I like that list. That's a lot of game. Well, three out of 5 this year.
Yeah,
so.
Will's he's been putting in some work, man. He's got a Steam Deck, he's got a Portal, he's recently
He's got a Portal?
He got a Portal, yeah. He's recently got the Platinum Trophy bug. So
Okay.
he's I think well, we'll go over Platinums in a little
Yeah.
bit here, but I think most of his have been gotten in the last month.
Okay. Will, write in about the Portal. Don't sit on that. We want to know. All right. Moving on to our next contestant.
And he's got a VR too. He's all in.
All right, hang on. I gotta find it.
There's one specific contestant I'm kind of excited for.
All right, our next contestant, number 5, Horizon Zero Dawn.
What?
Number 4, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Number 3, this says The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. That's interesting that it already registers it as the
That's
new
what I was saying
SKU.
when I downloaded it the other day. They completely swapped it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like everything internally now says that.
Okay. Number 2, Baldur's Gate 3. And at 83 hours, their number 1 game, God of War Ragnarok.
Is that Jesse?
That's
Okay, that's
there you
the
go.
only one I go through that 5 again, because he's probably the one I have the least.
Horizon Zero Dawn,
Okay.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt,
Okay.
The Last of Us Part 2,
Damn good list.
Baldur's Gate 3,
Wow.
and God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, you win for highest open critic score combined. That's quite the list there, buddy. Good job. I'd be curious why Zero Dawn and not Forbidden West, or
This man hasn't gotten to it yet.
yeah,
But yeah, no, that's another great
Well done, Jesse.
list there.
You have the John seal of approval for your game taste.
All right, our next contestant, Spider-Man 2.
There he is.
That's it.
So number 5 was Spider-Man 2?
All of his combined were just Spider-Man 2.
Oh, we'll give pal of the show Nick some benefit of the doubt. He does a lot of hard work for us. We love him very much, but he's a PC gamer.
Yeah,
That's what
fine.
it is.
It's fine. But we had to include him just for
Fun fact about him though, he has a 100% platinum success rate on games he plays on PlayStation.
That's true. Yeah, we'll get into that later too. All right, our next contestant, number 5, Sea of Stars. Number 4, Final Fantasy 16. Number 3, Elden Ring. Number 2, Rocket League. And their number 1 game at 151 hours, Neon White.
It's 157 now, just so you
Oh,
know.
okay.
That's your boy. That's me, and with a special asterisk for my son Levi.
Yeah. I don't think the time to beat for Neon White is anywhere close to 151 hours. So,
Nope. But just to give everybody a little update, he has the developer secret time on 82 of the 96 levels. He is a madman, but I think he is finally starting to slow down.
do you remember? Were these the top 3 that you predicted? To Mark's email.
I predicted Rocket League number 1, I think.
Okay.
With Neon White 2 and then Elden Ring 3.
Okay, good.
My Rocket League hours was 141, so it was close, but yeah, no stopping Neon White. Crazy.
A little indie game, 151 hours. You got your money's worth.
Yeah, I did.
All right, we'll move on to our next contestant. Number 5, Persona 4 Golden. Number 4, Diablo 4. Number 3, MLB The Show 23. Number 2, Persona 5 Royal. And then their number 1 game at 222 hours played, Elden Ring.
Good job, Mark. Another really high caliber game taste out there.
Yeah.
Persona, baseball, and Elden Ring. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys are.
I'm not a
confusing the
baseball
pod.
gamer. I wish I was, but I played baseball for 15, 20 years of my life, and so always got to respect that.
Yeah.
Nice job.
All right, so that leaves us with our final contestant.
Oh, I'm looking at him.
Who could that be?
I'm looking at him.
That's number 5, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Number 3, Baldur's Gate 3. Number 2, Street Fighter 6. And at 104 hours, Persona 5 Royal.
Well done, dude.
Yeah,
Well done.
that's a good list.
Are you surprised that Street Fighter 6 is number 2? Like maybe not at this point, but would you ever have thought?
No,
before this
leading
year
into
that
this
would've
year,
been- that would've been number 2?
no. Leading into this year, I wouldn't even think it'd be on the list at all.
Nice.
You
It's
know,
good.
but
It's always good.
But I knew it was going to be up there. I was surprised Cyberpunk, which I predicted to be my number 3 game, was not on here. But I guess to get the platinums for
Poser.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor took a while, and then just Hogwarts Legacy took forever. So
I'm surprised you didn't have Final Fantasy 16 on there. I have 72 hours somehow in that, so I don't. Maybe
I don't know either.
Maybe I just left it on, and
Yeah.
the clock just kept going. I don't know, but yeah, that's fair.
all right. So with that knowledge, John, I'm sure you got everyone's list in your head.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with hours played.
Okay.
So who do you think is the least hours played?
Friend of the show, Nick.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
It's going to be up in the air. Well, who do you think is number 6?
Boy, oh boy.
Who's the next least?
I'm gonna go Jesse.
Good guess. Yes, at
Yeah.
558 hours
Okay.
total. Number 6 is Jesse.
Okay.
Got to play more games, Jesse.
Pick it up. I'm gonna go with you next.
No.
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 Will.
Nope.
Jake.
Nope.
Mark.
Yeah. So the next 3 are all around within 15 to 20 hours of each other.
Oh, wow.
At number 5, we have Mark at 670 hours.
That's what I said. I said he would be a boy who plays a lot of one game and then kind of dabbles here and there.
Will is at 684 hours.
Man.
And then
he wasn't gaming a couple years ago. Like 2 years ago, he was just like, I'm just gonna get back into it.
Yeah, well, he's into it.
Yeah.
And then myself at 689 hours.
Who's that leave?
So that leaves our top two is my co-host John and the nemesis of the show Jake.
I'm gonna say I took it.
You are correct.
Yeah.
John with 878 hours wins. Jake comes up in second at 858 hours. He was just 20 hours short. I'm sorry, John got a little help, but there's a little asterisk on John's win.
I was about to say, you might be asking yourself, wait, John always complains about how he doesn't have time to play. What is that about?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
This data is not telling me otherwise.
I don't know.
So our contestants put in a total of 4,362 hours of gaming time, the equal of 182 days of video games straight playing.
Nice.
Impressive.
Like
impressive, fellas.
Half a year.
Yep.
Half a year. Between 7 guys?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
We are all diehard PlayStation players. I am impressed.
We got to figure out, is there a game that... It'd be fun to play a game with like the 7 of us somehow.
Just Fall Guys.
Yeah, it'd probably be something like
or
that.
Or like Party Animals, when it comes to PlayStation. Or
maybe not.
Or
I don't like people anyway.
Yeah, or any of the Jackbox games. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that will get 7 people together. But awesome. Like I said, that's a lot of hours. But we're not quite done yet.
No.
So we're gonna get into the platinum trophies again. If you get every trophy in a game, you earn that platinum trophy. And it's it's coveted. Certain games, you want to get it. You have to get it.
I care about it more than I'd like to admit. I hate that I do, but I do.
Yeah, actually, over the weekend, I was looking through games like that I want to platinum.
Yeah.
And I was looking at both the Batman Arkham games, and I just thought about it in my head. I'm like, is it worth playing 62 hours of Arkham City to get the platinum? And I was like, no. Nope. But I want it.
Nope, it's not.
I want Red Dead Redemption 2's platinum. I want Witcher 3.
I want Returnal real bad.
Yeah.
But every time I pop in, I'm like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed.
Final Fantasy 16 this year. I wanted it, but I didn't want to play through the game a second time, so I wasn't going to do it. So, but everyone on this list did earn platinums this year. All right, John, prediction cap back on. Who is number 7? Who's the least amount of platinum?
Friend of the show, Nick.
Yes. Producer of the show, Nick, with his 1 platinum for Spider-Man 2. He is now up to 2 total platinums. Ooh. He has that and God of War Ragnarok, but those are good platinums to get. So
Okay.
So, the least, but not the worst.
So next up,
yeah.
So I think I know Will has 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with, and because Mark already platinumed Elden Ring last year, I'm gonna go with Mark.
Incorrect.
Jesse.
Incorrect.
You.
Incorrect.
Who else is there? I know it's not Jake.
No, your first said was, well, there's a tie. You're right.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Oh.
There's a tie. Yes,
So
Mark.
you're a liar.
Yeah, I'm a liar. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot about that. There's some ties here. There's 2 ties.
Okay.
So our first tie, yes, is F4. It is Mark and Will, who both got 4 this year.
Okay.
Mark did say that he is wrapping up the platinum for Persona 5 Royal.
Nice.
So he's planning on getting his 5th.
Okay.
And he did give a special shout out to his wife, who got her first platinum ever in Hogwarts Legacy, which is no easy platinum.
Yeah,
that's another one.
So your wife is a Harry Potter junkie like mine. All right. How did she like the Merlin trials?
Yeah, exactly, and how many there were. But so they both tied at 4, but Mark gains the edge because he has 8 total this overall, with Will just at 7.
Oh,
so.
okay. I didn't realize there was caveats and tiebreakers.
Yep. So
Okay.
we have another tie coming up here. So 3 and 4 is also a tie.
Is it me and you?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
John and I both only got 8 platinums this year, but John edges me out. He has 47 total to just my measly 34.
Yeah, I don't think I've gotten one in like 6 months, though. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I don't think
I went hard in the beginning of the year. I did Minute and Neon White and Last of Us and some other ones.
Elden
Ring.
Yeah.
But really fell apart, so. Only 8.
Yeah, just only 8. But again, you edged me out because you're at 47 total, so you're pretty high up there.
Yep.
So that leads us to our top 2.
So Jesse's number 2, huh?
He is number 2.
Okay.
So he got a total of 13 platinums this year.
What do we got?
He's at 56 total.
Oh, damn.
So he is, as of right now, the leader. But as we'll get into the next, the nemesis,
psychopath.
Good luck keeping that lead, because
you got a target on your back, dude.
the reason he is the nemesis of the show, and this is the reason why, because he started the Platinum Trophy War and then just annihilated John and I. We never stood a chance.
No.
You remember how many he got this year?
It's 20, 22?
24.
24.
Nemesis of the show,
Crazy.
Jake, is at 24 platinums, making him the winner of the most platinum trophies this year among our contestants. And he is at 51 total. So, Jesse, to keep pace,
Yeah.
you better
go.
get another 11 platinums really quickly.
He's a tenacious boy.
So
I would like to say, though, that I think my trophy level is still higher than Jake's. So.
Oh, yeah, you have more individual trophies, just
Yeah.
not the platinums.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Nemesis of the show, Jake. 24 platinums is
Quite
something.
the year, man. 2 a month?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, almost twice as much as the next person and 3 times as much as you and me. So
I mean, that's I think part of that is the magic of PlayStation Extra and just like these on-demand games. You can be like, oh, this one, oh, this one, oh, this one, oh, this one, oh, this one. So not like the old days where you got to buy them.
And to his credit, he doesn't cherry pick easy platinums either.
No, he got Dismantle, which...
And Death Stranding, which is over 100 hours. So
yeah, I mean, he's got Cyberpunk. I don't know if that was this year or not, but
no, that was last year.
yeah, he doesn't just get sugary ones, but just go get that Stardew Valley. Jake, come on, man! Like you keep talking about this one little mini. It's just a mini game.
He got the Little Big Planet one though this year.
I know he did. I booted that up and I was like, no, I'm not gonna try.
So yeah, it's awesome. What a great year, and like what a varied list from everybody. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's something for everybody, and you know, a good mix of.
I know it was between you, Jake, and I. We had 15 different games.
Yep.
In our top 5, so that's cool.
Yeah. So it's awesome. It's a great list. Thank you to everyone for writing in, because it's fun to look at, and like I said, to know that we played half a year of video games combined is,
Pretty nutty.
yeah. All right, so that's it. You got anything else to add to your PS Plus wrap up? Will there?
I got.
Are you at least trying to get your son to play on his own account?
Dude, he won't do it. Like he just like I don't know why. I would think that would be like awesome for a kid. Like,
right.
I can keep track of all my things and
right.
But no, even with Neon White, I'm like, dude, you're going past the platinum. You're like getting platinum
right.
plus, and he's like, yeah, I don't care. I just want to beat my world record time. He's like,
right.
dude, I mean, great, but
it's time to password protect your account.
Yeah, I mean, his big ask this year for Christmas is a computer. So I think he wants to get into the PC side of it.
What does he want to play?
It's the same shit. He wants Neon White on PC. He wants he wants Only Up again, which you can't even buy, but I have it on my Steam account. It's just the things that the YouTubers are into.
Right.
You know, that
right.
Geometry Dash game I showed you, that is just you'll get a fucking seizure looking at the screen for 10 seconds. But so yeah, I don't know, but the kid is spoiled. So
yeah,
what can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, he is something else, but yeah.
I did play 103 different games this year, so I did do that.
Oh, wow, yeah, you try a lot of games. Again, the biggest complainer about not playing any games, and boy, whew,
Yeah.
most hours. I didn't play 103 games.
Yeah, it's all in little bitty segments.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, are we ready to move on to our third topic?
You know it.
All right, so you may have remembered that we talked about this earlier this year. I believe it was episode 43, that E3 is dead. And I believe that was because of a rumor of it's in trouble, right? Like there was no E3 this year at all or last year. So E3 has kind of been like, is it going to come back? COVID's over. This is a big convention. Again, E3 was this pillar of video gaming. Like
Video Game Super Bowl.
Yeah, in June, it was just like video game after video game, conference after conference. Konami would have a conference. Ubisoft would have a conference. The big three, they would all be at E3. It'd be the greatest week of gaming. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that is officially dead now. The ESA
R.I.P.
tweeted out on December 12th that it's over. That the industry has moved on, and Keeley, he stabbed it in the back so many times with his Summer Game Fest that they just can't do it anymore. And so, not surprising, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. An end of an era.
Yeah, I mean, it was maybe the reason I got into the industry as much as I am now is just because there was this deluge of just nonstop excitement that would happen for a week or two. It was hard to shake off, and then you get so excited leading up into that time period every single year. They've tried to recapture the excitement, like you said with Summer Games Fest, the Game Awards as well, but it's never felt the same.
No.
Summer Games Fest is just spread out too much. I think you can't take that week and spread it out over 2 or 3 months and expect the same kind of excitement. And as we saw with the Game Awards this last couple weeks ago, it's awesome. There's a lot of cool announcements, but it still feels like it's being held back by the ad money that's needed to generate it, and by having the awards here as well to kind of pull away from what we all want to see, which is game announcements. But I think. I don't know, man. It's hard not to feel sad about it. Like, there was nothing like it when it was that week.
No, like, to think, like, each publisher would come up and be like, we're going to do an hour to an hour and a half show.
And they're just trying to one-up each other.
Yeah, and it's going to be just and we have that many games to bring. Like, that was the crazy thing. Like, Ubisoft can fill an hour of time showing off their games. I know they have Just Dance, but they were firing off games, and they would always end on something exciting, whether it be Watch Dogs or the return of Beyond Good and Evil 2, which is dead by now. But
yeah, Assassin's Creed game or something.
Yeah, all that stuff, and same for the big three. Like, did know like Sony was going to just talk for an hour and a half, and you had no idea what you were going to see. But they were, like you said, that there was that spirit of like competition of like who won E3. And you would do it like every June. It would be the talk of all the websites, talk of all of us gamers, like who had the better show, who got the better third party reveals, who got to show off a Call of Duty level this year.
I think back to the Sony's 2016 showcase, and like that was just an hour and a half of goosebumps. That was when they started with the live orchestral orchestra with the God of War music, into God of War, into Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? These are all incredible. And since then, I don't know, you might be lucky to get one announcement of that size at any given thing. So
yeah, and it just sucks that I think none of these Xbox had a good showcase this year, I think, but obviously we were really down on the Sony showcase, and a lot of these other publisher events, they're just okay. They're never on the scale of like what those other shows were.
No, and I think every time Sony announces a showcase, this is what we want. Like, we expect, and I think they're primed to do it. Whenever the inevitable next Sony time they want to talk is, like, I think that could be an E3-esque show if they want to, actually go all in and announce, further out than just 6 months. But, I would say though, like this was inevitable. There is no need for companies to spend the amount of money that they do to fly all their employees out to the show to make, bespoke trailers and gameplay sections for specific games that are going to come out soon anyway. It is understandable in this day and age, with the internet and Twitch and YouTube and all this other ways to get your messaging out to people, that you don't need to bring them all to one place and have it be, super crazy for the journalists, super crazy to try and even just, get time to play a game, to see a game, whatever it is you went there to do. So it does make sense, but I won't pretend that I'm not sad about it. It's kind of my overarching thoughts.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just like I would take work off because, Microsoft would be Sunday, but then Monday it was just like Ubisoft, EA, into Sony, and I just had to see it. I had to be there to see it because it was just fantastic. It was just, like I said, like these publishers could fill entire showcases with that amount of games. Like, they had that amount to show you, and every one you'd come away with at least one or two, like, hell yeah, like
I mean, dude,
I'm excited for that.
Wii Music, man, legendary,
yeah.
legendary. No, that's kind of the other side of E3 that was really funny as well. Is like there were like there's so many memeable moments that came from it. You know, famously, if you want to cringe, just search Wii Music E3 and you'll see was it Miyamoto up on stage, right? Like playing the fake trumpet or something.
And that was the showstopper. That was the end of the show announcement.
Yeah, so there were little gaffes and things like that here or there, but you know, RIP E3. Yeah, like I said, I think it's between Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty getting into the podcast space when I did, and then E3 being what it was from like 2015 to 2019. I think that's why I'm here right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was just overdrive. It was like a drug.
Yeah.
It was like straight heroin of video game announcements injected to you in 1 week. Like, it was hard to keep track of everything.
You say that, but like, is there, you know, you see an announcement of a game that you're excited for. It is about as ecstatic, I feel like, as maybe my poor old soul can get anymore. But,
right.
You know, it's, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like we always talk about that Final Fantasy VII remake announcement. Cyberpunk hacking the show.
Remake announcement. It's on my computer screen right now.
Cyberpunk hacking the end of the Xbox showcase. All the what you had mentioned. Even the E3 where they were moving all the people in attendance from studio to studio, where the first one was like The Last of Us Part 2.
I think that was 2017.
And then led into like Ghost of Tsushima.
Flute guy.
Yep. And I think the last one was Spider-Man. I think it was.
Yeah.
Just great, just awesome ways to show off games and to see long demos. And like I said, you always just knew you were going to see something. You're going to see something, and it's.
Then Grand Theft Auto 6 shows a trailer and goes 200 million views, and everybody's like, "Why are we doing any of this? This is silly." So, you know what I wish would come back? I loved PSX for like the 3 years they did it. Like that was great too. It was like mini E3 in December, PlayStation focused. I wish that would come back too. But you know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. The caveat here is like the showcases have never been as big but also gaming is as big as ever. You would think like they could easily fill a show, but I think like you said, we're out of the long tail announcements. You know, we're like, you know, getting a Metal Gear Solid 4, 5 different events in a row till it finally releases. You know, like everyone just like keeps, their cards close to their chest, and then when the game's within a year or 6 months, like an Armored Core 6, that was showed at the Game Awards and it was out 8 months later. A lot of these announcements seem to be following that. They don't want to be like what we've been saying about Hellblade. The game was shown like 2017 and it's still not out. So everyone's just trying to avoid that, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Here we are.
RIP.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we'll just get again more showcases. I imagine within the first 6 months of next year, there'll be all the big three.
Right.
Xbox will have like a developer direct like they did this year with Hi-Fi Rush being shadow dropped. Sony will have a showcase again. Hopefully they'll learn from last year. Their state of play their latest showcase, the state of play was a lot better. So hopefully they learn from that. And then Nintendo's got to be ramping up for a Switch 2.
You'd think so.
And Sony for a PlayStation 5 Pro. Like if that thing exists, that's
well. And do you see the rumors about Xbox right now?
Oh yeah, and then
which is just bananas. We can save that for a different show, but supposedly coming out with the next Xbox in 2026.
Well, is it bananas? Because that's 6 years. That's not.
I find that pretty bananas. I mean, when
I think is that bananas because COVID kind of slowed us going into the new generation of consoles? Because like I said, 6 years is not that long.
That's what I mean. Like I was expecting 2020.
Is appropriately long. It's not long as compared to PS3 was 8, and then
PS3 was 2006 to 2013, so 7. 4 was also 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's to regress and to make it shorter. When I feel like every single account was like this generation will last 8, if not 9 years. It's just technology it's getting a little bit harder to showcase. So I think it's just, again, we can save this more in-depth conversation, but it's Microsoft waving a white flag and say we submit. And it makes sense. I was thinking about it today that like, okay, the Activision deal's gone through. We're going to have Game Pass being what it is. Like, how can we start to peel away market share from Sony, and a shiny new box when the other competitor doesn't have a shiny new box, is not a bad way to do it if it has a reason to get it beyond what is already available, right? Especially if PlayStation does a PS5 Pro that's at 8K and 120 frames or whatever. It's like, what more can you really do? And you never know what you need until until Apple says, here, an iPhone, you need this, right? So maybe Microsoft has something up their sleeve, but I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Don't derail me. I can get distracted quite easily.
No. That was that was an interesting rumor. Which I think I don't know if we talked about this on air, is a lot of people were getting a fever pitch because the Marvel's Blade announcement had no Xbox logo on it.
Yeah. And
their Xbox's YouTube never posted the trailer. That since it's changed, it is on Xbox's YouTube and it just says Xbox, but the running theory by a lot of people is that it's because it's not coming to Series XS. Right. It'll be whatever the next Xbox is. So,
right.
But sorry, we're derailed. Let's move on to our next topic.
We're derailed, which is
the video game character battle royale.
Yeah, I got a 2-week hiatus. Time to get back in action.
Yeah, we're both going to be a little rusty here.
Yeah.
So the winners from last week's tie
I got to get them.
One's another tie. So unfortunately,
it's the other one too, isn't it?
Yeah. Now Leon and Ellie are tied. Again, both participation for both is getting higher. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just push it again. You want to flip?
I'll push it again.
Oh, we can. Whatever you want to do. I thought we were pushing it.
Let's push it
because we don't technically need to know right this second.
No. Are we getting rid of the other one, or are we pushing both of these?
No, the other one was decided. So
okay.
We're gonna leave the other one.
So we're still gonna argue for 2 today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll have 3 polls up to
okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. So Leon tied with Ellie. But crazy enough, Crash Bandicoot handily defeated Master Chief this time after the tie of last week. So he will be moving on.
I'll allow it just because get that filthy Xbox chum out of here.
Yeah.
but nonsense.
But no, everyone listening, thank you. Again, I like the higher participation. It's definitely making these polls more interesting.
Makes it more fun.
So again, it'll be 3 polls. Ellie versus Leon will be back, and then our 2 character battle royales, which we'll argue right now. Now, John, I don't remember who went first last time.
I don't either. I want to say you, but I don't.
Yes, I think you're right.
But
I think you're right. I did go. All
right. So for this week, right, we got Doom Guy versus V from Cyberpunk, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts versus Samus Aran. Quite the matchup. Let's go with Sora versus Samus first.
All right.
All right.
For context, I don't know anything about Sora.
Well,
I do not play Kingdom Hearts games.
I hope you learned at least a little bit.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I to say I don't know nothing. I know as much as a person following the industry.
You got Goofy and Donald. You got some other stuff.
Yeah.
Spiky hair.
Yeah.
All right. Samus is the ultimate survivor. She's alone on an alien planet with some of the worst environments and gnarliest monsters you've ever seen in your life, and she's able to overcome and defeat it every single time. She has one of the most iconic weapons in all of video games, the Charge Blaster. She gets speed boosters that make her approach almost at the speed of light, untold amounts of power-ups. She has 16 different types of beams, 8 types of missile launchers, 11 different types of suits, morph balls, visor systems, screw attack, space jumps, maybe more gadgets and things than any other character in video game history. And Sora's entire shtick is that he's able to overcome with the power of friendship and the help from others, right? It's never by himself. It's always with the power of Donald and Goofy or something else that he needs. He needs to rely on other people to take anybody down every single time. So Samus is going to be able to take care of a little teenage boy very, very easily. Samus wins this by a mile.
Are you a fan of the character, Samus Aran?
Yeah, I mean, I like that, hardened female lead. Ridley, is a very obviously popular example, as we talked about a couple weeks ago with Alien. But I've only played what's the fucking big one? Super Metroid and Metroid Dread. Those are the only 2 I've ever beaten. But yeah, she's cool.
No, yeah, she's probably the most interesting character I think in Nintendo's like main stable of characters. She just doesn't fit. Really.
I would be most excited for a Metroid movie, right? If the Nintendo thing keeps going and they keep making that would be the one that I'd want to see the most of.
Live action?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, she's basically Iron Man.
It's true, and you would have some amazing looking environments if you could do it right.
Yeah. God, that would be
Fucking
wild.
getting a lava suit and just treading through lava, or some other crazy stuff. But
I'll take what I can get. But like I said, I think Metroid is Nintendo's most unique franchise. It's so crazy,
and we're selling.
Yeah, unfortunately, but just a cool overall franchise. Like that game was like back then is so revolutionary.
Super Metroid's it's an all timer, man. That game is like you said for the time period in 1994, I think. Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Easily someone could tell me, oh, that's my favorite game of all time. I'm like, yeah, that tracks. So
true.
But we're not here to talk about that anymore. So let's
keep,
go into Sora.
Keep complimenting my challenger. That's fine.
All right. Do not let Sora's cartoonish, innocent look fool you. Sora is the protagonist of the most batshit insane franchise out there. Out of all of our fighters in the list, he comes from a silly place called Destiny Island. That's how batshit insane his franchise is. Sora wields one of the most iconic weapons in all of video games, the Keyblade. This weapon enhances all of his abilities and can transform into other objects like a whip, a bicycle for traversal. This is, if you're not familiar with Kingdom Hearts, it's a Final Fantasy franchise too. So he has Faraga, Thundaga, Blizzaga, Curaga, all the Final Fantasy spells. And on top of that, he can summon Disney characters. Just like Final Fantasy characters can, but his includes Simba, Genie, Tinkerbell, Dumbo, Wreck-It Ralph, and more. He has all those to assist him in battle. It'll be this multifaceted form of attack that will overwhelm Samus, who relies heavily on Jester Suit for abilities and weapons.
Very nice. And then Dumbo gets a charged shot to the face. All right.
No, you can't do that to Dumbo.
Oh, you could easily do that to the Dumbo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Look, Google image search Dumbo.
Don't defend Dumbo. Nobody defends Dumbo.
Well, it's an adorable elephant that can fly with his ears.
Yeah, but those crows are racist. All right, and then to the main event, Doom Guy versus Nick's beloved V. All right, I feel bad for you with this one, Nick. Doom Guy is he's one of those like top tier contestants. He's up there at Kratos level, right? Some people say he's immortal. He has been around for eons, is what they say in the lore. You know, his main enemy of this franchise, you know, Satan. He manages to take that guy on, a.k.a. the Lord of Darkness, a.k.a. Lucifer, a.k.a. the Dark Lord. You roughly kill about 3,300 demons in Doom 2016, so I don't think it's going to be a problem to take down one, kind of robot human-esque type person. You got the super shotgun, the BFG, which is one of the most overpowered weapons in video game history, your chainsaw, your plasma rifle, the Crucible, which is the new melee sword in Doom Eternal. It's a one-shot kill against any single enemy. And yes, V is a hacker. I know you're probably going to say, Nick, I can hack my guns. Oh, I can't use my guns anymore. I got a melee sword. You can't fuck with that. All right? And not to mention, what are you going to do? How are you going to get close to Doom? The Doom Guy, he doesn't have anything that you can hack into, thus negating any type of counter that V could have.
It was just the 30th anniversary of Doom.
Yeah?
Yeah, 8 days ago.
Wow.
So.
Well, I hope they keep coming to PlayStation because Doom games are great.
All right. V is the rag to riches merc with the Ingram of Johnny Silverhand, a.k.a. Keanu Reeves, stuck in her head. She's the biggest merc in all of Night City. V has an access to a wide array of weaponry, including smart homing weapons, shotgun, pistols, katanas, giant hammers, sniper rifles. But her ace in the hole is her access to cybernetic implants, including mantis blades, gorilla arms, monowires, leg enhancements for double jumps, speed enhancements to move like a blur, go completely invisible, and much more. Now, Doom Guy has dealt with demons, and I know John just downplayed the ability of hacking, but hacking is any technology. Like, if any of his guns are using technology, V can hack it. So that is her advantage. She can disable weapons, disable any technology that's in that big old suit of his, and put him at a disadvantage, as well as she can hack any technology in the environment to put her at an environmental advantage. Sorry, Doom Guy. You're strong, but not V strong.
And then Doom Guy curb stomps V in the face. All right, guys. We got 12 contestants left. We're getting down to it. I want to tell you there were other 12, but let's just we'll keep it special again.
Okay.
Right? All right. First again.
Yep.
All right.
I'll go first.
Jack from Jack and Daxter.
Oh, okay.
I know nothing about him.
It's been a minute.
Versus Rayman.
Okay.
So that's a pretty appropriate matchup. And then second, you got Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
That's a good one. Versus
Hot off his television show.
Sweet Tooth. Let's see. Versus again, Sonic the Hedgehog.
He's got his work cut out for the Sonic fandom.
That's true. Sonic, there is maybe no more voracious fandom out there than the Sonic people for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. All right.
Well, nostalgia, that's for one. But I had a Sega Genesis. I had that nostalgia. And
Same. Sonic 2, great as a childhood, but as we've discussed, those games don't hold up.
No. Well, the question is, do we want to do it next week, or do we want to save that for all Game of the Year stuff?
I think we do it 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I think we close out the year, start fresh with Sonic.
Okay. That sounds good to me. All right, well, this is the end of the show. We did it. I know we teased what's happening next week. It's all Game of the Year stuff, but do you have any teases for 2 weeks from now, the games you'll be playing?
Well, I beat Dave the Diver, and while I don't have much more to say about it, I'm just going to give it a quick 5 out of 5. Game's great. If it comes to PlayStation, you got to play it. It's pure joy.
I will.
Yeah, it just enhances. It just keeps changing itself and keeps itself very, very fresh, no pun intended. I'm still plucking away at Astral Ascent, which has been a very, very fun roguelike, very, very Hades type game. So getting through that, but it's been hard to trick my brain into getting into something big and meaty again. I've been looking at Hogwarts Legacy because I never put more than an hour into that. And Tears of the Kingdom is just, I keep running into the same thing. Nemesis of the show, Jake once asked me after I gave a pretty not so positive Cyberpunk review, like, well, what makes that any different than like Tears of the Kingdom, right? I was complaining about how much there is to do, and I think he has a point. It's kind of like the same thing. I keep going further and then going, oh my god, I haven't even explored any of the underground area yet, and I haven't really fucked with the Sky Islands yet, and like, so it's just it's intimidating to me right now. But
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to get Super Mario Wonder too. I did win the Fantasy League for the year, and part of the Fantasy League rules was you have to spend
the year's technically not over, but
sure,
odds are yes.
Sure, you keep holding on hope.
Yep. Christmas Day Shadow Drop.
So I got to spend my earnings on a new video game, and that'll probably be Wonder. So maybe if I can get myself and pick that up, I'll have some impressions.
Yeah. No, that's all good stuff, and yeah, I hope to fit in some games here myself. Again, I put down Baldur's Gate. Sorry, everyone. I will not see the end of that.
You call yourself
not this year anyway. But I also did pick up Diablo 4 and have just started playing that, so I will definitely have impressions 2 weeks from now on that game.
Get a portal. You can play in bed.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather $200 is like the first 3 months of next year in video games. So
No, it's like February.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, you got Infinite Money, you got
Infinite
Last
Wealth.
of Us Part 2, Infinite Wealth.
Infinite Money.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Last of Us Part 2, Helldivers, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and possibly Dragon's Dogma in there.
That's March, but
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I said first 3 months. You said
sorry,
2 months,
I
so.
thought you were riffing off of me. Sorry.
So yeah, you're right. Those 2 months, those 3 games would be $200. So
There you go.
So that's what I'm looking at. So no extra hardware for me. If there is any hardware, it's TV. That's my,
Oh yeah, so you still don't have an OLED, do you?
No. I have a 4K, and it's a nice TV. It's just,
Yeah.
I want to move to an OLED, especially if
You see
I'm even considering a PlayStation 5 Pro. If that is indeed a true thing, I would have to get a TV first. So,
But yeah, I mean that'll be interesting because PlayStation 5s have held their value really well. So like you can.
What about opened ones with the warranty sticker removed?
I think you know eBay or something easily.
Right.
I think you know.
Or I just figure out a way to swap that sticker out.
It's true. Yeah, I mean if you want to go this GameStop route, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's not like you've done anything nefarious with yours. You'd sell it, and they'd be like, is this legit? And you'd be like, yeah, and then they would, because you're a good guy. You're not going to...
Yeah, it works. It has not had the issue ever since I fixed it and cleaned it out. So I have a good PlayStation.
You have a good career in IT in the near future, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, fixing other people's PlayStations.
Yep.
All right, well, that's it. John, you're picking the song, and what'd you go with? Something interesting.
Something
here.
old guards of somebody. Yeah, the old gods of Asgard, right? That's the
Yep.
And the song is called "The Herald of Darkness." You might have seen a live dance performance at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I think it's probably the song of the year at this point. So it feels right to bring it, and we don't have to give you the 13-minute version, which is nice.
No.
So we found a nice little radio edit version. But yeah, if you want to see the song again that accompanied that silly, silly dance with Sam Lake and the actor who played Alan Wake and was the guy from Homeland, right, David?
Yep.
David. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's a 13-minute version of the song, which is obviously the version in the game, right? That had to keep itself on repeat.
Yep.
While you fucked around and we're just like, what the fuck is going on? But there is also a radio edit version, which you'll hear here. So yeah, it's a great song, great game. I want John to play it.
Yep.
You know, hopefully.
If you had that physically, that would definitely be what I was playing right now. I should probably just bite the bullet and buy it.
You know, it's funny. Like we were talking. God, I'm really derailing here.
Yeah.
We were talking about like since I had to buy 2 games digital this year between Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake, I was like, oh, digital's really nice. But then I got Spider-Man 2, and then I was letting all my friends borrow it. And I was like, oh, this is a good feeling, too. It's like, it's nice to share games.
And then you got $35 out of it.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I got $40 for it.
There you go. So which one feels nicer?
Right. Yeah, I just have to, drive out to my preferred GameStop, but they're nice there, so it's always worth the drive. So, all right. That's it. Enjoy the song. Keep playing video games. Get more platinums. Add up to those hours.
We need to beat 181 hours next year. That's the goal. 7 of us. All right.
So get started in 2 weeks.
Pick it up, Nick.
Yeah.
If we add him in too with his PC time, oh man, we're probably at.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be probably 200 hours for sure, or 200 days.
200 days. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So. All right. Thanks again for listening. Again, we will be back next week with our game of the year. Please write in if you want to answer all the categories as well. But until then,
Lord of the Rings Gollum, game of the year.
And with that, we will see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Later, Gators.
And all your stories of crime and killing thrillers, of hard-boiled killers became bestsellers. It was all too much, I had to get away. That meets the eye. I never meant for it to ruin my life that way. Would you say you lived a jaded lie? Dark shades could never save the day. So sad, but true. Fighting the nightmares, torching a life which a gift or a curse. A reality made of dreams. Show me
write a new story like Tom Zane before him, and maybe they'd be happy once again. Just one shot, one more chance for him to save their marriage away from the city, a romantic getaway. He's a torchbearer. dark place am I trapped in here? Is this real? I cannot remember. There was a manuscript, it held a key. A vicious cycle I must not surrender to. Echo scenes to seek out again and again until I figure it out to bring this song to its end.